Hi, welcome back. I have a butterfly project for you today, and it was a result of the cloud project that I did a week and a half ago. Like a lot of my projects result from other projects, not necessarily because of creativity or something I dreamt up, but because of supplies that were left over, and I think, what could I do with them? And so what was left over from the cloud project were corners of papers, and I don't know, I just sort of looked at them and I realized that they could be butterfly wings, but as I thought about blogging about it, I realized that not everybody would have made the clouds, but they may want to make the butterflies. And so when I sat down to do a little template, I realized that I have the butterfly wings, but there was going to be this piece of paper in the middle that would be wasted. And then, of course, what can I make out of that? And that led to a 3D butterfly. So I'm going to show you how to make 2D butterflies and 3D butterflies today. For this project, you'll need cardstock thin enough to run through a printer if you would like to print out the template that's available on my blog. I also will provide you with some that are already colored, so that if you want to print them on colored paper and get a head start, you can do that. You can also embellish on top of these if you'd like. I would suggest letting your children color these in, and you don't have to be very particular at all, and they still come out looking really, really nice. I just take one color and I scribble with one color on every butterfly, making a different mark. Now, if you want your butterfly wings to match, you're going to want to do, for the 2D, 2 matching on the corners, and for the 3D, 2 matching centers. So out of every sheet, you'll get 4 2D butterflies and 2 3D butterflies. Like I said, I do not worry about scribbling over the edges. I won't color this whole thing for you, but literally that is how quickly I scribble these down. Once you've gotten your butterflies colored, then you're just going to cut it out. You cut it out with scissors, or it's easiest to use this little cutting tool from Fiskars. Cut off your edges. Do not cut them all apart. We're going to fold the 3D butterflies while it's still one sheet of paper. You're just going to trim off the edges. Cut along the outside edges. before you cut it apart, it's sort of hard to tell, but this line down the center of these 3D butterflies needs to be folded. And it's easier to fold it as one big sheet than to fold them individually, because the wings are quite narrow. And when you put this down, it covers over the edges of the butterfly, and then you can't hold it straight. So line that up. Put that cutting blade in there. Take your cutting blade out when you're using just the creasing tool. Take the cutting blade out. I have grabbed the wrong blade and cut something that I meant to only crease. So if you can see on the back side of this, where that crease is, so it goes straight down the center. That gets the 2 down the center. Do the same on either side, creasing down the middle, crease down the middle, crease down the middle. Now you can cut them apart. Cut apart the 4 squares. And there you use your scissors. You're going to cut out that center, sort of cat's pupil shape. That's your 3D butterfly wing. Here's your 2D butterfly. Now you need the other one, the other wing for the 3D. With your 3D butterflies, all of these lines represent where you're going to crease it and fold it. On the 2D butterflies, these lines are where you're going to cut and trim. So I'll show you the 3D first. You need hot glue, and I'm using 17 gauge wire to put them together. And we'll need, I almost cut my butterfly in half. You need a hole punch and some yarn or string. Okay, not sure if you can see where that's creased on the back. Okay, now you'll just fold along the creases. Fold it 4 times. Little pie shape, you're just going to fold it in. There's one butterfly wing. Now, I put some of mine opposite and some of them the same, top and bottom. From here, this is where you're going to take your glue gun. You're going to cut your wire. Like I said, I'm using 17 gauge wire, and cut it in about 1 3/4 inches to 2 inches. And we're going to put some glue in there and close the wing over it. Just like that. Voila! 3D butterfly. Take your hole punch, and the best place to put the hole in is right here at the very top on the back side. A little bigger hole in there. I put a couple more together for you. One other thing that I did was I just took light colored cardstock and some of the coloring book images that I had from my envelopes that I also blogged about. Glued them up to 8x10 and ran the colored cardstock through the printer. So if you don't want to take the time to hand color all of them, and your kids already have some coloring books, and that's what this one is. Just pages out of my coloring book. I scanned it and blew it up to 8x10 and printed it onto the cardstock. Having the wire in there gives you the ability to change the angle of the wings. Again, put a hole just in the very top on the back side there, and string them. Now that's a 3D butterfly. 2D butterfly, you only use string on the very ends of the garland. You'll cut down the center of the triangle along that dotted line and trim that little edge. And it has a dotted line on the template as well. Crisscross them. There's your 2D butterfly. Voila. Hole punch top corner, and you'll use paper fasteners to fasten them together. Tie string on the end. Hope you enjoyed the project. Hope you come back for more. Thanks for joining me. Bye.